Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show of the Black Audacity, formerly known as the Black Audacity. So I just removed the word the because sorry, not Facebook. YouTube removed my channel about a week ago due to they really don't tell you why they remove your channel. They just remove it, and I've been appealing it. So I'm waiting on the appeal. But if they don't give me the channel back, it is what it is. I just really try to get out a message mainly to Black women in regards to how we can elevate ourselves, empower ourselves, and try not to be victims within the community or the world in general. I just want the best for Black women, the Black community in general, but Black women specifically, Black women and girls. So yeah, if anybody's been on my previous channel, it was called the Black Audacity. I made a new channel and just called it Black Audacity after Facebook. I keep saying Facebook. After YouTube removed my channel, they don't give you a reason again why they removed your channel. I have some suspicions as to why they removed my channel, but again, they don't tell you why they removed your channel. They just normally do it late in the evening. So it was like 4 o'clock in the morning that I got an email and said, "Hey, we're removing your channel." And they just said that I went against community guidelines. Like I said, I have some inklings as to why they removed the channel. I was getting reported several times, and when you're trying to get a message out that people don't like, they will um adamantly adamantly disagree with it, and not only do they disagree with it, but they will do things to have your speech detained and have you removed. So that's what they did on YouTube. um but today is another day, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to start back posting. This is my first live since my channel was removed. And let's get to today's topic. How's this Friday? I'm blessed to be here, everybody. Good afternoon. There's been a lot of topics going on this week. Specifically, today I'm going to be talking about Twitch. Let me get this banner off of here because I'm done with it. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about Twitch in general, but not just Twitch. I'm going to be also just talking about mental health within the Black community, especially relating to self harm. As most of my followers know, I've talked about it many times. I am a psych nurse, meaning that I work in mental health, behavioral health, psychology, psychiatry within the health system. I've been doing that for many years. So this whole situation with Twitch, which he is like, Twitch is one of many people that have committed self harm against themselves this year within the BC. He's just the most recent to be highlighted. So everybody, as you come in, hit the like button, show your girl some love. Hello, I welcome you. I'm glad that you're here, and let's get into this because what I want to specifically talk about is the fact that the situation with Twitch is being put on the shoulders of Black women. And I don't know how, being that Twitch was not even in a relationship with a Black woman. Twitch was he was betting for another team, which, look, hey, that's his business. I don't care. But so it's very um perplexing to me that this would be blamed on Black women and put on the shoulders of Black women to take care of, being that we have nothing to do with it. I do send my condolences to the family of Twitch. From what I can see, he seemed to be on the outside a nice person, a very happy person. But like I said, I'm a psych nurse, so I know what is seen on the outside may not be exactly what's on the inside. Not to say he wasn't a nice person, but he was clearly a sad or depressed person. So First, I would like to, before I start talking about Twitch, I want to speak about and let me put out a trigger. This is a trigger warning for anybody who is triggered by information in reference to the unaliving of one's own self. Um, yes, because that's what's predominantly going to be spoken about in this video. So if you are triggered by that type of information, then I would forewarn you that that is what we're going to be talking about. I would like to share my screen. I want to dedicate this particular video to a young lady in my hometown who just recently committed self-harm to herself and her child. And this happened prior to the unaliving of Twitch. So I'm gonna share my screen, and like I said, I'm gonna dedicate this to this young lady and her daughter. It was a big story in my city. It happened roughly about not even a week ago. Um, Not even a week ago. So this young lady, mom and daughter. She's 25. Her daughter was 7. The mother's name was Kalila Brister. Her daughter's name was Tyrell Jefferson. This mother, just like I said, not even a week ago, I believe, December 13th, she was going through some severe depression and she took matters in her own hands, sadly, and she unalived herself and her daughter by driving into the lake. Um, there was many calls put out by her family that were looking for her because she had stolen her mom's car and had told her mom that she planned to hurt herself and her daughter. They did contact authorities, and there's many bodies of water in Milwaukee, so they weren't able to get to her in time. They first went to the lake, and she attempted to jump in the lake. Her and her daughter. She tried to push herself and her. I mean, tried to jump and push her daughter in the lake. Her daughter, that was 7, abruptly got away and ran to a bystander and said, um, that her mother was trying to harm her. And the bystander the bystander did go and talk to the mother, and the mother said that she was tired and she just wanted to end it all. Trying to find exactly where it says that in here. Here it is. I'm sorry. Um, right here. I don't really want to read through this whole article because it is very sad. The young child, the 7-year-old girl that's listed right here, did get away from the mother at one point and ran up to a bystander, and the bystander did talk to the mother, because the little girl said, my mom is trying to hurt me, and the bystander talked to the mother, and the mother said that it's too much. I can't do it anymore. I can't take living anymore. And the bystander said, what can I help you with? The mother stated, I just need I'm out of gas. I need some money. The bystander gave the young lady $20, and the young lady grabbed her daughter, got in the car, and ran and drove off. The bystander did call the police, but the mother went and filled her tank and found another body of water and drove into the lake. Again, this is the mom, this is the daughter. This is on the news, so I'm not showing this child maliciously. This child is being shown all over the news in my city. And like I said, this just happened on the 13th. So yeah, mental health and depression is a real thing within all communities. But specifically, I'm talking about the Black community today because for some reason in the Black community, we just don't feel like mental health is real. We don't feel like Black people commit unaliving of themselves, and they absolutely do. Um, So this live video is dedicated to this young lady and her daughter. Hello? Let me make sure my let me make sure my volume is up because I don't see my thing moving. Hello? Hello. Okay, it is on. So this video is dedicated to this young woman and her daughter. And so I just wanted to dedicate today's stream to her because they deserve it. And it's very sad that this mother felt the need to, or felt so hopeless that she would take the life of her and her daughter. Um, and this young child definitely tried to prevent this from happening. And sadly, she was not able to do that. So this dedicated to Kalila and Terrell Jefferson. Um, Kalila Brister and Terrell Jefferson, 25-year-old woman and her 7-year-old child. So now I want to get to the stuff with Twitch. So we all know, well, most people know that Twitch, who was a DJ and a dancer on the Ellen DeGeneres show, has recently unalived himself. And it was perplexing to me that this was actually, when I was going through Twitter and going through Instagram, that somehow him doing this to himself has been put on the backs of Black women. Twitch was not married to a Black woman, though he did credit his success to two Black women, his mother and his dance instructor, both Black women, and he credited his success and his life journey to them. And he said that they were the people that he respected the most in his life, other than his wife, of course, and his children. But prior to being married, those were the two women who he gave the most utmost respect to. So it was very disheartening to me when I saw that Black women were being blamed for his demise. I want to share my screen with something that Umar Umar Johnson said. These braces that I got on, I just got them tight and they're getting on my nerves. So Umar Johnson goes on to say that rest in paradise, King. No disrespect, but on behalf of the Black community, we demand to know how his death was ruled as a self-harm and by what manner did he allegedly take his own life. We have been dealing with a plethora of snow bunny murderers, unaliving, and will not accept the official cause of death without proof. First of all and foremost, this man was with a woman that he chose. And you can call her a snow bunny and you can call her different names, but this is a woman that Twitch chose. And no, being that Black women are 52% of the Black community, no, you're not speaking on behalf of the Black community. It's like every time that something happens, you want Black women to jump up, throw on a cape, put on stumping boots, get their bull horns, and get ready to march and protest. Because make no doubt about it, this is a whistle, a dog whistle to Black women to get in action, to get ready, set, and go to protest and to demand that there's some type of investigation done on Twitch's wife in reference to his unaliving and his self-harm. First of all, that is not my business. Um, I do send his family my condolences, but I am not at all getting myself involved, and neither should any other Black woman, with trying to go head to head with his wife in regards to what happened to this man. And the whole thing, well, it's a plethora of snow bunnies. Well, guess what? It wouldn't be a plethora of snow bunnies if the men weren't choosing the snow bunnies. This is a man that he chose. This is a man that he chose to be with. And now somehow you're making it the Black community's problem to deal with it. No, no. Nope and nope. Because I know when you say the black community, you mean black women, because the black women are literally normally about 70% of the people that actually protest within the black community. Is mainly black women. Black men will talk online, but they're not out there actually with signs and bullhorns nearly as much as black women. So black women stand down from this. Let the police do their investigation. If they feel like it's one that needs to be done, send your condolences and do not get involved with trying to be the gatekeepers of this investigation. Do not call your local officials. Do not call the police district where this happened at, trying to force them to investigate. This is his wife is more than likely his beneficiary of everything that he earned. His wife is more than likely the person who will make all the arrangements for his funeral and will be the head of his estate. And let that woman be that. That's who he chose. And I'm not going against that. I have nothing to do with that. This is not a black community issue. The black men and the plethora of snow bunnies that they're dealing with would like to go in and figure out what happened. They're more than happy to do so. I give them, hats off to them. But I have nothing to do with that. Next, not only was there Dr. Umar, who was saying that this was a black community issue in reference to Twitch's unaliving of himself, his self harm. There was also a gentleman who was on my Instagram who made it his business to say to completely blame black women for the issues with black men and their mental health. Let's go to him. So this gentleman shared that he shared a video actually of a black woman giving recognition to Twitch. And then in his comments, in the post that he wrote, he says, I was a few times, which he meant it was a few times. I was a few times one of these men that don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs, who don't have shopping and self image addictions, feel the entire load of the world. Then you add on the compound pressure of social media and a need for our women to be seen as having it all together all the time and keeping up with the Joneses due to their own traumas. Then you add on escalating hate and neglect from women that look like you. Mind you, this is a black man that's posting this, and he is also not with a black woman. His children are by a white Latina. Um, then you add on escalating hate and neglect from women that look like you. The competition to out earn and perform them and outsmart them. The police trying to unalive you. Silent racism of men who don't want to see you progress in your career. The unfortunate attempts of women in corporate America that look like you, because he keeps saying the women that look like you. And this is a black man that's writing that. And again, he's not married to a black woman, and neither was Twitch. So the unfortunate attempts of women in corporate America that look like you trying to get you fired to be the it black person. Look, I don't know what black woman attempted to get this man fired, but apparently he's upset about it. No father around to confide in, and a mother that don't understand because she didn't have hers. So if the father isn't around to confide in, and the mother you saying that lacks understanding because she didn't have a father, how is that the mother's fault, and how is that black woman's fault? The shame of being vulnerable to other men who are also competing with you. Then he goes on to talk about child support, because child support is always an issue for them. Nobody wants to actually support their children. Child support from bad decisions, from lack of sex discipline, and higher than average sex drives. I'm so sick of black men pretending like they have a higher than normal sex drive than everybody else. No, you just lack discipline And when you idle mind that is not doing anything, if you're not working, if you're not in school, if you don't have anything that you're doing during the day, then sex is constantly on your mind because you're not keeping yourself busy doing productive things that most adults do. Being treated like children by every gender and generation because you were robbed of examples. Nobody is treating you like children. You're acting like children. If you're not adulting, then you're acting like a child. You have to be an adult to be treated as an adult. You have to act as an adult, do as an adult does to be treated like an adult. If people are treating you like children, it's because you're acting like children. It's because when you come around, they sense childlike behavior. Um, this goes on, and no one wants to talk about it. And many men will not admit it. No one wants to talk about what? Yeah, the fact that you guys don't want to talk about your behavior and you don't want to try to correct it rather than blame it on other people. Yeah, that's what's not talked about enough. He said that he's talking in reference to black men. They become lazy, self harming, reckless addicts, feel safer in prison than out, have no regard for anyone's life or property. They become unalive by 40 and many times much younger. I'm not a therapist yet, but I'm working on it and have time to talk to you. Box me. Okay, so I did leave this man a message and I did inbox him, but he didn't respond. So I didn't know if the box me meant inbox me or if it meant he fight him. I didn't know. But so I went on to say, I would absolutely love to have a more in depth conversation with you regarding this post. A conversation is truly needed within our community about every part, both men and women, playing the direction of the community. I also put, and I will also send you Twitch last video he made a day before his unaliving. Y'all, black men need to stop trying to blame all your issues on black women. This man was not with a black woman, and his issues he was having on social media were from white people not wanting him to speak his truth. Because Twitch, if you go back into one of my last videos, he made a video in reference to the issues that he was having. He was starting to be more like a advocate for police brutality, and he was saying that people were under his post stating that he should not be dividing people, which we know that who those people were, and that he should stop talking about police brutality. So that has nothing to do with black women. I don't know how black women even got in this conversation, but stop it. And while we're talking about Twitch and we're talking about mental health, and we're talking about self harm and unaliving of oneself, what about this post that seemingly has been ignored by Meg the Stallion? Meg says, "I this was just Wednesday. Today is Friday. She's going through this horrific court case, as we all know, after being hit with bullets from Tory Lanez, allegedly. She's going through this court case, and she's on stand, and everything in her personal life is being scrutinized. So Meg has said on stand, I wish he would have just unalived me if I knew I had to go through this. This is someone now stating that they may be possibly be suicidal, but everybody just overlooked the fact that she said that and has been talking about irrelevant other stuff in the trial. I'm not saying that it's irrelevant to the trial, but have completely overlooked the fact that Meg made this statement. This could possibly be her attempt to let the world know how that she is now feeling suicidal. But because they people just don't care when black women say that they're hurting, everybody's just overlooking that. Everybody is overlooking the fact that Meg has put this statement out. Um, and have completely just went on about everything else in the case about who she's possibly slept with, who she lied on, or if who's lying, who's telling the truth. But what about this statement? That is a very significant statement to make, for one to make, that they could possibly wish that they were unalive because of the trauma that they're going through, because traumatic situations, traumatic incidents do lead to one unaliving themselves. So yeah, I just feel like I know that the situation with Twitch is going on, but let's send a prayer up for Meg, because who knows what she may be feeling right now. And clearly, the world doesn't care because they are more interested in the juicy gossip in relationship to all the information that Tory Lane's lawyer is putting out about Meg and about her sexual prowess and all the things that she done that happened during the situation where she was shot. And then not only that, lastly, I wanted to talk about this person. Does everybody remember her? This woman who stated, "Hey, black men, why don't you get therapy? Why don't you why don't you take on why don't you be in control of your own mental health and just get therapy, because therapy can help you from wanting to unalive yourselves, because black men are the largest group of people that are now unaliving themselves." This woman tried to tell people that, and she was fired from her job because nobody wanted to hear it. I want to show this video of her
Hello,
talking.
babies. Final thoughts and prayers. I'm gonna take
And
a
let's
break
listen to what she actually was saying
because
in her one
the
of her last
internet
videos that she made. And she made videos after this, but she made this video and then she stopped communicating
is
for
an
a while.
interesting place, to say the least. There have been a lot of opinions, and like I get. Hey, babies. Let's shoot the shit real quick.
Can you guys hear what she's saying?
I had some time to
Let me
adorn the
go
crowd,
to
and hello, babies. Final thought.
why does this keep
I'm
going?
guessing. Hello, babies. Final
Because
thoughts and
I can't
prayers.
hear her.
I'm gonna take a break because
Give me
the
1 second.
internet
I
is an
really want you guys
interesting
to hear what she
place,
had
to
to
say the
say.
least. There have been a lot of opinions and sides. Like I get people saying burn the cape, and I'm just like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that when I'm a come as you are type ass bitch, you know? How can I be like, hey, I'm trying to save everyone and isolate a demographic of people? However,
Why is this not
I don't
playing the
like the
volume?
that trying to save y'all is giving
Hold on
you.
1 second.
So
Give me
I'm
a second.
respectfully gonna take a break and celebrate, meditate, masturbate. But yeah, in all seriousness, this shit is taking quite a severe toll on my health, and I ain't been eating, sleeping, none of that shit. And like I said, chest pain. So I respectfully do not give a fuck about the internet enough to sacrifice my health. So in the meantime, thank you for all the new peeps. I'm so excited that you're here. If you would allow me to
Okay.
get some
I don't know
rest
why
to
it's not playing the
recuperate,
volume.
the shit I'm gonna
And
bring for y'all.
like I said, this is my first video getting back online, and I'm really like trying to get back used to being online. But like I was saying, mental health is very important in the black community. The black community is having a extreme uptick in the unaliving of ourselves, self-harm, and self-harm of other people, of course. And this is something that needs to be addressed. And from what the studies have shown, it says research shows black unaliving rates are even higher or even worse than ever than they appear. Black American suicides are 2.3 times more likely than whites to be classified as undetermined at the time of that they occur. Now, I want to say something in regards to that. That is because, now I won't say all the time, but a lot of the time it is ruled as undetermined, because when black people do unalive themselves, their families are so determined to say that it wasn't a suicide. Just like Dr. Umar Johnson, who was saying that he doesn't believe that this was a suicide and it needs to be investigated as something else. So there may be a lot more black unaliving and self-harm going on than we know of. But because when a black person unalives and so does self-harm, their family is so adamant that that wasn't the cause, it's not being listed right away as unaliving of oneself, because black people keep interfering with the actual with the actual investigations, and they are not wanting it to be listed as a suicide right away. And I mean, that is, we have some legitimacy in doing that, because there's been a lot of times where our people are just listed as having unalived themselves when it's clear evidence that they probably didn't. But there is a lot of, mm, we're not at the top, of course, but there is a lot of unaliving in the black community. There is a lot of self harm going on in the black community, especially within the last 2 years since the pandemic. And we need to be really adamant on finding out why that's happening and trying to do better for ourselves, instead of just saying that this isn't the case, and ignoring mental health, ignoring depression, ignoring the fact that black people do unalive themselves, and wanting it to be listed as something else, instead of just being honest with ourselves and saying, hey, this person unalived themselves, and we need to figure out how we can go forward and how we can change those type of situations within the black community, specifically the unaliving of oneself, because there are generally clues that the person is on that route to unaliving themselves, but it is ignored by the family. They are calling the people drama queens, drama kings. They're saying they're I have had patients, young adults, young teenagers, whose parents have brought them in and said they are totally against therapy and mental health, um and mental health help, because they don't believe that they need it. They believe that they can pray things away. They believe they have a child that is in front of me who is attempted unaliving themselves in the past and still saying, I'm going to unalive myself. And their parent is like, no, well, I made it through worse times when I was younger, and so you can too. Or they just need to pray. No, that is not the prayer isn't good for whomever feels like they need it, but prayer isn't the answer to all things. It just isn't. And ignoring that your loved one has a mental health issue, or is on the brink of unaliving themselves, will cost you in the long run. So thank you everyone for coming. I'm a little nervous today because this is my first day back on, and my audience is like gone, because my page is this is a brand new page for me, but I will work diligently on getting this page back up and going. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you. You all have a good weekend. Until next time.